How did you get started?
So I got started. I'm the co-founder. So it's very interesting how life, in a way, you design your life, but there's a clear path there that is designed for you.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, I think the way I see designing your life is the speed that you go through life, but
yeah,
the path is already designed for you.
yeah.
So I became a leadership coach. I've been in corporate for 30 plus years. Decided to do different shift in my career. A lot of people say, "Hey, you're a great therapist. Once you go into therapy," I say, "Well, therapy, I don't know. Uh, what about coaching? Well, what is coaching?" And then I got into coaching. From there, I got mesmerized by a facilitator that was using appreciative inquiry, which is a framework, a dialogue framework. Really uh, is designed for any purpose, from
Okay.
creating a strategy for a company or on finding resolutions. I mean, the United Nations is using that, and
Right.
from there, I'm like, God, there has to be other individuals like me that are using appreciative inquiry in my native tongue. So I'm from Spain, and
Okay.
then I met Felix Villoria, who is my business partner, and we really connected and very deep in our values, our visions. And I think the pandemic does miracle things. A lot of people blame the pandemic, but I think we need to give thanks to the pandemic because we really shifted.
Yeah.
And we decided to think about, hey, what about this positive leadership approach? What if we bring this into a corporate setting or individuals,
Yeah.
how they can benefit? And we started thinking about the vision of how it will impact the individual, their home, their place of work, their communities, and the impact that will create if we start talking and showing people positive leadership.
Absolutely. So when you reference the pandemic, is that when you and your co-founder, is it you said Alex, correct?
Felix,
Felix.
yes.
I'm sorry, you and Felix decided to get started?
Yes, we started doing things. I think like any business and personal relationships, you gotta get to know each other and kind of like. And the interesting part, believe it or not, a lot of people don't believe it. I haven't met Felix in person.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, we never met in person. We have, when you talk about a business relationship that has trust, 100%. So we started doing things, and we had an opportunity to meet in person, but we never did. And that's the interesting part. And that tells you the power of positive leadership right there on the spot, right?
Yeah.
Where you can meet someone, you can apply those principles and really see things flourishing. So that thing, if the pandemic never happened, I probably never met Felix in that particular moment, maybe later on. But that was a key factor of it. Yes.
I love that because it's two people that have a goal that's working together. And I'm sure the Zoom came to place and that face to face was definitely, video based. But I think that when you said trust, that's big, right? But it doesn't take necessarily a physical introduction in order to gain that trust. And I love that you and Felix had decided to create a business relationship, and first probably a relationship to get to know one another to see how this business will flourish. And then coming into Positive Leadership Academy, you guys both had to have worked on yourself. What did you do for yourself before you actually got yourself involved in this piece?
I think there's for me, I'm pretty sure for Felix, there's other elements.
Yeah.
For me, I think there's three key factors that
Okay.
I think you need to work as a leader. I think number one is really find out your energy source. And
Okay.
when I ask my clients what is your energy source, a lot of people say, "Well, it's my family, it's my work, is what I'm doing for the community." And I say that's not an energy source because if you don't sleep 6 plus hours, most likely you won't be as passionate as you think you are by doing the work that you do.
Yeah.
So what I mean by energy source is what is giving me the fuel to move every day. Is it my sleep? Is it my meditation? Is it my journaling? Is it my exercising? Is it my thinking time, reflection time? So really find out as a leader or as an individual, what is your energy source? What gives you the optimal, right? And then from there, we start thinking that, hey, my sleep is not that great. I need to increase that. Or my nutrition is not that great. Or maybe I should exercise more. Or maybe I should think, because we don't think anymore, right?
Yeah.
We're just reactive. So
Yes.
that's number one, that I needed to work for myself. I say, oh, wow, I need to really optimize myself so I can feel that I'm 100% optimal. The
Absolutely.
second thing is purpose.
Yes.
Why I'm here? What am I doing here? What is my purpose? Right? What do we do? Why we write bills? Well, we don't write checks anymore. It gets deducted, right? But
Yeah.
what we do it's like I tell people, say, when you're eating, are you mindful of what you're eating? Why you do what you do? What is the purpose behind it? And my purpose was, I think, the ultimate purpose that, I'm a believer. I think the ultimate purpose that Christ wanted to tell everybody is the ultimate sacrifice is serving others to the ultimate, right? To the
Absolutely.
best approach. So that's my purpose, to serve others so they can reach their best version of themselves. And the
Absolutely.
third element that I needed to work is do everything with love.
Yeah.
And what I mean by love is not the romantic one, is the love of really connecting with others in a deeper level.
Yes. Yes. And I totally understand that. One thing that I was reading this morning in Ephesians was it was talking about pretty much the power of the tongue and not speaking ill of anyone, but truly sharing and the joy of love and God to give that back to you. And so I get that totally. What fuels you as you hear I'm a believer as well, and then your purpose, and then doing everything with love. And that's, I think, what you're meaning and saying too is that unconditional love, regardless of your past, present, or future. You're going to love them according to who they present you to be. And I love that, in finding who you are and where you're going. And in this work, that's definitely the work you need to do in yourself. So when it comes to the Positive Leadership Academy, tell me about your vision in doing this.
I think my vision is to really, the way when you see the world, and we can see the world in different lenses, right? We turn into the news, and it's a very pessimistic, very negative way of seeing the world.
Yeah.
And then you see the miracles that are happening in front of you, and then you see a different perspective of the world. There's a lot of hope. There's a lot of amazing things that the creator is doing.
Yeah.
So my vision is to really elevate the conscience level of leaders.
Yeah.
And I think we all have the power to make a big difference, and not just us and other individuals and other homes and other communities.
Yeah.
I remember when I was trying to be a homeowner, and I told myself I cannot wait to be a homeowner and pay property taxes, so I can participate in
Yes.
in the politics of your community. How amazing that is, that you have the ability to be in front of the city council and express your mind. Wow, what an opportunity! I think positive leadership, we trying to create that vision for individuals to think, hey, work wise, your family, your well-being, your community, anything, you can create such an impact. That's my vision, for people to really, I don't want to say this, awake in themselves and the
Yeah.
power they have within themselves. Yeah.
Absolutely. And it's so interesting you say that is we're often awake, right? Sleep 8 hours, up the remaining. I don't think I've had 8 hours of sleep in a very long time. However, but I think, and I feel like you're speaking the awake from the core, bringing what's inside of you out of you. And it's definitely the positive, but definitely having to filter out that negative and that energy that's deep down in there as well, but choosing, it's definitely, you said something about the consciousness, just being able to choose consciously to be a positive individual. And with that being said, do you find it a challenge to find the positivity in leaders that you choose to coach?
I think for me, challenges is an opportunity. So
Yeah.
I believe obstacles is a possibility. So when individuals I see a challenge for them, I'm like, great, it's an opportunity. Let's go. Let's dive into it. Let's see what we can make the best out of it. Otherwise, I feel we're not growing. If there's no challenges, there's no obstacles, then imagine if every season was the same, right?
Yeah,
And it's like, wow. And I think that kind of gives me, hey, this is great. I think, and you said it at the beginning of the podcast. Everybody's in their own journey,
yeah,
so I always say this is an invitation
yeah,
for you to step into this or not. It's up to you. Uh, but you cannot blame me. You cannot blame the world. You cannot blame anybody else around you. A loved
yes,
one is you. Either you accept this invitation or not. So very similar to the Matrix movie. This is
yes,
the blue. This is the red pill.
yes,
Which one you want to take?
yes,
Right? It's
yes,
up to you.
yeah,
Right? You
yeah,
are you are the you're gonna be in whatever situation you want to be in.
yeah,
um, but I guarantee you that if you take the route of be a positive leadership, I think you're gonna create an amazing impact in your life, and you're gonna see the transformation happening, right? So
yeah,
when I see that, I'm like, hey, that's up to you. But I love obstacles. I think obstacles make us grow. So if I get up one day and things are pretty good, I'm thinking, oh, hold on a second. This is not real. I'm dreaming, right?
yeah, yeah.
I love obstacles. I think they're amazing.
Yeah. And it's so funny. I was riding on a bike. I was cycling today doing exercise, and the lady said, if this is the hardest part of your day, then you have a great day. And I was like, oh, that's a good one because this is really hard. I'm really trying to breathe and do everything. So, yes, in those moments in life, I think that what is that statement that says that we often pay attention to the bad things and let the good things go by? When if we really actually paid attention to it, we have more good than bad. It definitely outweighs um, the bad things that are going on in our lives. And I love that you love challenge because it actually protrudes and shows growth, right? You begin the challenge, you move past it, and then there is that aha moment, like someone has really, really transformed and now has this light of joy that's completely different.
Hmm.
So
Absolutely, yeah.
yeah, and so it the name itself says positive leadership, and I truly love that. I want to ask you a question. What are the greatest joys of what you do?
The greatest joy. I need to be mindful. The other day, I was reflecting. I was driving, and I was reflecting on some of the coaching calls I had and some of the group sessions I had. And the greatest joy is seeing the shift
Yeah,
of individuals as I'm leading them, and you see their faces going, "Wow, I got it! I got it! I'm
yeah,
moving forward." I think that's the greatest joy that I see in the work that I do, and really thinking, "Hey, I'm putting my I'm serving. I'm
yeah,
serving.
yeah,
I'm doing. I'm serving. I'm doing that." And I think that creates that ecstasy, I can call it, of really detaching yourself
yeah,
from your basic needs. And I think once you do that, you're like, oh my God, you don't think about the money that you're making, or hey, am I getting this materialistic things? You're thinking about the serving others and creating that impact. And I think that's a great feeling to have. But
yeah,
in order to have that, I tell people I need to be mindful.
yeah,
I need to really reflect and really rewind that day and really look into the gains of the day. What I have done today that I'm really proud of myself. And when I do that, I'm like, man, this is really cool. This
yeah,
is awesome that I'm doing this. This is so amazing. Just the fact that I'm here talking to you about Positive Leadership Academy, man, that's a joy.
yeah.
That's pretty cool. I'm pretty happy today. if everything goes downhill, I'm still happy for what just happened now.
Thank you for being here today. I'm really happy that you tuned in to Vision Pros Live. I'm looking forward to seeing your reactions as these episodes continue to move forward. This is going to get more and more fun. We'll have more and more engagement as well. We'll invite people to participate in the show. And thank you for giving us your time and attention. Have an excellent time building out your vision and becoming a Vision Pro yourself.